What if the freedom of the ocean, the vast and endless world that an orca should call home, was stolen away forever? What if one of nature's most majestic creatures was forced to live a life in captivity, all for the sake of entertainment? This is the heartbreaking story of Khashamank, a captive orca whose life was destined for something far greater, but instead became a chilling symbol of what happens when nature is confined to a cage. In 1992, a young male orca named Khashamank was stranded on a beach. He was just a 3-year-old calf, lost, confused, and far from the world he was meant to inhabit. Rescued by a marine park, his fate was sealed. He would spend the rest of his life in captivity, far away from his pod, his family, and the freedom of the open sea. From the very start, Khashamank was doomed to live in a tiny, shallow pool, far too small for a creature of his size and intelligence. For years, he lived alone in this confined space, isolated from others of his kind, until his companion passed away in the year 2000. A disturbing sign of Khashamank's suffering was evident to those who observed him. His dorsal fin, a key feature of orca anatomy, began to collapse. In the wild, an orca's dorsal fin stands tall and straight, a powerful symbol of strength and grace, cutting through the water as it swims freely. But in captivity, things are different. Khashamank's dorsal fin, like so many other captive orcas, began to bend and collapse. Scientists believe this phenomenon is a direct result of the captivity environment. Limited space, no opportunity to swim long distances, and a lack of the natural water pressures that keep their fins upright. In the wild, an orca's dorsal fin is an integral part of its body, helping to cut through the water as it glides effortlessly. But in a cramped tank, orcas like Khashamank are denied these essential natural experiences. Instead, they swim in circles, confined and without purpose, leading to physical deterioration. But the collapse of Khashamank's dorsal fin was just the beginning. The stress of captivity began to take a mental and emotional toll as well. Orcas, known for their complex social structures and intelligence, are deeply affected by isolation. They form lifelong bonds with their pods, hunting together, playing together, and communicating through unique calls. Khashamank, like all orcas, was deprived of this social structure. Living in isolation for years, without the companionship of other orcas, he was forced to perform for crowds. His life was nothing more than a display, a sad shadow of what should have been. The mental strain of this captivity manifested in the form of stereotypical behaviors. Khashamank was seen facing the wall of his tank for hours, day after day, a heartbreaking sign of the deep psychological distress he was under. This type of behavior is common among captive orcas, who have nothing to do but repeat repetitive, pointless actions. Over time, more and more people began to see the injustice of Khashamank's situation. The viral video showing him staring at the fence for 24 hours ignited outrage online. A campaign was started, calling for his release, or at the very least, a transfer to a larger and better equipped facility. But even if Khashamank is moved to a larger facility, the question remains, can captivity ever truly be a solution for an animal meant to roam the vast, endless ocean? Khashamank's story is a tragic reminder of the cost of captivity, not only for orcas, but for all animals that are held in captivity for human entertainment. His life, once full of potential, was stolen away by the very people who were meant to protect him. His story is far from unique. The plight of captive orcas is a global issue, one that needs urgent attention. Every day, orcas like Khashamank are deprived of their freedom, and we must ask ourselves, how much longer can we continue to turn a blind eye to the suffering of these magnificent creatures? While we can never undo the damage done to Khashamank, we can ensure that future generations of orcas are allowed to live the lives they were meant to lead, free and wild. Join the movement. Speak out for those who have no voice. Together, we can make a difference.